the author, Dean Spade.
That people fight back is not by convincing them to stop, but by stopping them through people power, through having huge movements of millions of people taking direct action, not by just asking for change again and again from people who have created the crises we're in and are maintaining them for profit.
I was born in Mexico. I moved to the United States. My parents brought us over when I was the age of about 13. Both my parents are retired farm workers. I grew up in the Half Moon Bay community. I went to the school district in Half Moon Bay, went to college, came back. So I've been in the United States in Half Moon Bay for 33 years. And I started first advocating for the community when I was still in high school. So we're talking over 30 years.
So my name is Dr. Laura Minero and my pronouns are she, her, or ella in Espanol. I was in school for 14 years, including postdoctoral training. Even though it was a privilege, I didn't have access to financial aid. I couldn't apply to FAFSA. This was before DACA existed because I graduated from high school in 2008. So I was undocumented for 26 years, and I'm also queer and gender expansive. Difficult to navigate the system, and yet I still had the privilege to be able to get through it without being a resident or a citizen and get my PhD. My parents experienced significant discrimination. Even though they are white appearing, they're light skinned, they're lighter than me, they're monolingual Spanish and undocumented, and so they were excluded from a lot of things. I grew up in a small town in Central California, and we had immigrated from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico when I was only 5 years old. So this was the home I knew, this was all I knew. It wasn't okay to talk about my experiences or be myself. What I do now is I get to debunk people's myths about our communities, whether it's Two-Spirit, queer and trans, Latinx, Spanish-speaking folks, people of color, or undocumented folks. I now get to use my education and the knowledge that I've now learned about different systems to help educate people, right? And help us create more just worlds where we could be more inclusive, where we could be more mindful and aware of people's experiences, and hopefully also disrupt harmful policies. And that's why I was invited to come speak today.
Her family immigrated from Mexico to Gilroy. They worked as farm workers, and she has made a name for herself by putting in the work to better her community and the world. Working with organizations like Head Start, El Concilio of San Mateo County, and GELAAM, a Latina LGBTQ+ organization in San Mateo County, and so many others. So without further ado, it is my immense pleasure to introduce Olga Telamante.
As kids, we grew up knowing that we had to work, and it was just not only my family, but all the families, all the kids around us. What really, I think, started to wake up a certain consciousness was to see the treatment that our parents received from the growers, from those that owned the orchards. They had all the power. They owned the ranch. They owned the trees. And I would babysit for the growers. I liked the kids. But I noticed their houses were really nice. And then we had one room for our family with a kerosene, little stove. Well, how come their house is so nice? I mean, we work really hard. Yeah, something's not quite right here. And then when the United Farm Workers Union started organizing in the mid-60s, and we started hearing about them, of getting better working and living conditions for people, as well as dignity and respect for farm workers. So those are the things that you could say kind of started my consciousness about the world around me.